they no longer have a continuous grasp of music history as a chain of being that goes back to Bach and Haydn and Mozart. It's been shattered. It's not that they don't love this music or don't like it when they're introduced to it, but their idea that their teacher studied with so-and-so, who studied with so-and-so, who studied with so-and-so, doesn't mean anything anymore. Doesn't mean anything.
Let me just clarify one thing, which is that when you say people below me, you mean younger than I am.
Yes.
Which would make them sort of...
People in their 20s
no longer
or...
baby boomers.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Like the end of the baby boomers.
Yeah, no, it's the Gen Xers. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they don't... and it was already happening in our era, too. There was a break. And the break is now sufficient. And into the fractures of that break, into the fissures of that break, has flooded a fantastically interesting variety of so-called world music from all over the world, which has shown unequivocally that the music of the planet is as interesting, if not more interesting, than any other music that anybody ever heard of. So the notion that you had to keep your hand on the toe line of history to get pulled up the mountain has been abandoned. You can get pulled up the mountain on the music of Bali or the music of Madagascar or the music of Georgia in the old Soviet Union. You don't need
the toe line of Western European history you're talking about.
Yeah, well, which would have been the music history that we knew as young students, you and I. Mm-hmm. That's broken. That's gone. And I don't think it's either good or bad. But what it has done for some is it's completely shattered their concept of the orderly, or even disorderly contents of Western history, and particularly Western music history. They no longer really have any feeling for the way in which somebody like, say, Schubert sat listening to Beethoven's symphonies and thought a lot about him and tried to imitate him but ended up going in his own way, or that Brahms was very excited to hear as late as 1850 a Schubert symphony and thought about the symphony in a different way, having heard a piece by that, or that Debussy thought, God, Parsifal, what an incredible opera, and in Pelléas even muttered to himself notationally somewhere that the ghost of Klingsor haunts his every dream. There's nobody active among that generation, or even my generation in some ways, who's haunted in that way, either for good or ill, by this continuity of Western musical tradition.